incorporated here. So I'll just do a brief sectoral analysis. So this is the banking and financial services. So there are some benefits and some criticisms also of this act. So fraud detection. Now fraud detection because of this act may suffer because fraud detection works in real time. Now if the company or the bank seeks your permission every time they want your data, then this fraud detection might be left behind. Because say today some fraud is occurring on your account, and if your data is not available with the company, then they would not be able to detect that anomaly in time, and you might lose your money. So that is a big problem. However, credit scoring could be done through your minimum data which is required. They do not need all of your data to measure your credit rating. Then lastly is the compliance cost. So complying with this act requires a lot of cost. So for big banks and big fintech companies, this cost can be borne by them. But when it comes to new startups, newest startups, this cost might send them into trouble. So that is a big criticism of this act. Next is healthcare. Now in healthcare, precision medicine. So it may face delay due to consent requirement because every time you will need consent of the patient data, and that may cause delay. But what it helps is in patient data security. So a lot of you might have received calls from insurance companies, sir, take some insurance. They take your data from these hospitals or from some website, from some insurance website, and then they'll call it. So your data can be protected when this act is implemented. And then innovation in telemedicine, again, it is hindered because again, you can't get a large amount of data. Yeah, so these are some case studies. So I'll just move forward to the basically what different stakeholders can do in this regard. So developers, what they should do is they should embed privacy by design system. That is, the privacy should be included in the system design. They should not incorporate privacy from an outsider's perspective, but should be inside through their culture as well. Then deployers, they should implement policies and conduct privacy impact assessments and train their staff. Again, the kind of culture their staff should also behave in the same way. However, the small and medium enterprises, they may need incentives due to resource constraint on this new. Then regulators, they have to balance enforcement with innovation too, and also avoid over-regulation, because that is a big problem when it comes to our country, that the tribunals, they try to overreach the regulation. So that is something which the policy regulators should do. Next. So these are some of the challenges and criticisms. So challenges are basically compliance cost, then innovation versus regulation. That is also a debate which has to be used. Then bureaucracy. So the tribunal mentioned in the Sector 19, again, that we don't know how they are going to exercise their power. And digital literacy. So there is no awareness currently in India. Even all of us are educated here, but how many of us care about the data? We do not. We do not think data is a commodity, whereas it is very important. If you don't realize it right now, you will realize it in maybe the next 10 years when your data is everywhere over the internet. So this has to also be solved to make the people aware. And so recommendations. So policymakers, they should issue clear sectoral guidelines. So right now the guidelines are very general in nature, but there should also be sectoral guidelines. Healthcare might need some strict guidelines. Some other sector might need some lenient guidelines. So that should be there. Then provision for subsidies should also be there to encourage startups, and saving oneself from over-regulation. That has also been improved. Then businesses, they should adopt privacy by design, invest in scalable solutions and consent platforms. Similarly, technological providers, they should look to develop affordable privacy tools and enable global compliance and interoperability, so that when it comes to MNCs, they operate across geographies. So Indian law cannot operate in silo, it has to be operating with global compliance. So again, conclusion is that the Act, I think, is in the right direction. Now it is, I am very happy that the government and stakeholders are also thinking about data protection of Indians. However, success hinges on mainly three factors: collaborative efforts among policymakers, businesses and tech innovators, then promotion of privacy by design techniques, and dynamic tech adaptive regulations. Because again, this technology is changing by the month, not even years. So the regulation needs to keep up with this. So this is it.